Well, Kyle,
Yes, Garrett.
we get to finally just talk about the future plans.
Let's do it.
Cool. It's time for a channel update. Including this updated look. We tried very hard not to look like Good Mythical Morning, but it works.
It's a nice table.
I give up.
It's a good setup.
We've tried everything.
We tried a lot of things.
We spent an entire day in this room sweating together, trying every chair thing possible. But we don't have a giant studio. And this just works for the space available to us.
Yeah. It just works.
It just works. And so do we. I don't know where I was going with that. So far, y'all haven't gotten sick of us yet. Some of you have.
Garrett, no. We've been missing something. I feel like we've been missing something, Garrett.
What's been missing?
Narrative experiences.
Let's cut to the chase. You're an adult. I'm an adult. He's at least 3/4 of an adult. We have been hemming and hawing about what the hell the next narrative game we're going to play is.
Wait, between the two of us? Or you mean like...
Literally everyone involved.
Oh,
you,
yeah.
Me, and anytime we mention what we might play next. And we have had a lot of conversations over the past year plus. We knew we were going to do Dawn Trail. We knew we were going to try Savage for the first time. All of these things have happened. But in the back of our minds, we've just been wanting to get back to narrative experiences. And we've flirted it with it. We've done little things here and there. We just finished Split Fiction. We made it through Space Marine 2. We actually beat some games this year. We got through Monster Hunter, which is not a narrative experience for me. It's what we found we really enjoy doing together.
We really like it. And we got pretty good at it over the course of the MSQ. We made a lot of MSQ videos. And when we found ourselves thinking, what kind of content do we like making? We kind of found that we really like making narrative videos, talking about stories,
talking about characters, tropes,
villains,
coming in with sometimes relatable touch points and other times coming in with very unrelatable touch points. I'm not pointing fingers at anyone. I'm not. Watch a movie made in the last 20 years, please. We haven't had a plan.
We haven't had a plan.
And every conversation that we've had outside of Final Fantasy XIV over the past year has been, what's our plan? What are we going to do next? If we're going to play a mainline Final Fantasy game, what one do we play?
What order do we play them in?
Exactly. Like, do we just go for 7? Because that's a popular one, and we both missed it in our youth. It is missing from our pop culture lexicon. Do we start with 4? Because Final Fantasy XIV can't stop getting a boner for it.
Or 9, because it's really into 9 right now.
It's really in the 9 for Dawn Trail, but there's also 4 references. Or 6, because we're friends with Jesse Cox, and he pulls a knife on us every time we say we haven't played it.
Or 12, because the writing team of A Realm Reborn was actually just finishing 12, and that's why it's so 12 crazy.
What if we just did them all in order? I have had that idea a billion times, and I always just kind of walk away from it, because who knows how long that would take.
And so I mapped it out.
No, actually, the first thing he said was, you didn't know how long 14 was going to take. And
that is true.
And I had no response.
And the early games actually aren't too long.
No, they're not.
And we get an opportunity to get our feet wet.
Yes.
Get our bearings. Explore playing together. Should I hold your hand for this?
No.
We get to explore playing it together with all the new technology you might have seen us using and such. In studio, GG here. Together. But one might also say, you know, in the course of playing through so many games, that we might take them chronologically.
Are you teasing Chrono Trigger?
Well, I mean,
He didn't talk to me about Chrono Trigger.
We might, you know.
He didn't mention chronologically.
Well, what if we're just like, what if we happen to be in the 90s and we're just like, you know, just a quick 30-hour jaunt down memory lane. It would be quite the expedition of us
That's
take
not a Final
little
Fantasy
break
game.
in between some of these games.
That's not even a Japanese game.
There's a highway, and it's called Final Fantasy in Order.
Videos are going to return. We haven't been doing them for a while. They're very difficult for us to produce while we're also worried about clearing savage fights, which means we might do the third and final tier of Arcadian an entire patch late because it is impacting our lives in ways that we never expected.
We're raiding big time, and that's still not enough for Final Fantasy Savage.
And there are things coming up in our personal lives that is just going to make making time for that in the evening impossible. We need to open that release valve and probably own up to ourselves that we can't Savage on tier moving forward. Gonna try and finish this one out on tier, but moving forward, we will probably not be doing Savage on tier.
We couldn't bring in these videos. We couldn't have the fun we were having along stories. One big thing, though, is we built this studio to be easy to set up, very little breakdown at the end, so we can produce those videos much easier. We had a system that we had basically done since 2012 with me in Oregon and you in Florida.
Well, you in Chicago,
And
you
then before,
in,
but I've moved
in
a lot.
Washington, you in Oregon, you in a different city in Oregon.
And moving here was awesome for the channel, but we also had a lot we had to solve over this last year, including figuring out how to bring you videos regularly in a completely different environment with completely different sound issues, technology requirements, and now we've completed those. There's always more technology. I have a long list of technology that would make this even better.
It can always improve.
But for now, it is very sufficient.
At the core of this announcement is we are going to begin embarking on playing every Final Fantasy game in order. There will be breaks for other RPG and narrative experiences along that line. We're going to figure out the correct order to play all this alongside you, our community. We're going to see what you like. If we're in the middle of 2 and you're all like, you should really play Chrono Trigger before you move on to 3. Well, maybe we'll just do that. We're not 100% sure that's what we're going to do. And when we get to later Final Fantasies that have many, many different versions, we'll probably just turn the stream on, hang out with you all, and be like, what version should we play? Which means, of course, because we've already defeated Final Fantasy I separate of one another, I hope you're happy. We're on to the most requested, most hyped, most beloved Final Fantasy of all time. Final Fantasy II.
But we get time to iron out those kinks before we take on more of a darling, which, by my calculations, first darling could be early next year.
So what are the ground rules? The spine, the bedrock, the cornerstone of what we're announcing.
The cornerstone is mainline Final Fantasy games in order.
In order. With breaks every once in a while to explore other RPG and narrative experiences. Because, damn it, I'm beating Expedition 33 before the Game Awards. We get back to some semblance of we don't have to make as many decisions about what we're playing next, for the most part. When there's a break into things like Chrono Trigger or Expedition 33, we'll try and give you enough warning.
Final Fantasy 14 is not going to stop. We're still going to have fun with that.
Yes.
We got stuff to do.
Probably just not going to raid on content anymore.
Yeah, you're probably not going to rate on content.
At least not Savage.
No, it's a lifestyle.
It's a lot. But not till the end of this tier, damn it.
We're going to beat the tier.
So if you liked us making videos about the narrative of games, that's happening again. So when are we starting this? Kyle, when are we starting this?
I got jury duty,
I know.
so I'll be back soon. Hopefully, not long at all like last time. But
He got it again.
my country needs me. Real quick, BRB.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
Maybe.
One day trial. Let's go.
The country may need him.
My country might need me briefly.
But people who love wrong guesses about what happened next in the story, people who want to post, but they already know what happened to Aerith, need him. People who like to make fun of the shoes in Kingdom Hearts need him.
Well, that's just everybody.
That's me, by the way.
That's everybody.
I am that person.
That's natural. That's only natural. Thank you for the support. Thank you for watching.
People who don't know that Chrono Trigger involves time travel need him. All right, before we go, what Final Fantasy of the main lines, excluding offshoots, excluding prequels, excluding sequels, which one are you the most excited for?
6.
8.
See you soon. Thanks for watching.
Please don't be weird when we get to Final Fantasy 7.